Preston Foster, coming your way with another episode of Waterfront.
Hi, Captain John.
Hi.
Carl.
Hi.
I thought you'd never get here. I've been waiting for almost an hour.
A little early, aren't you? It's only 9 o'clock now.
I've been up since 6. Couldn't sleep all night. Did you see Mr. Morgan? Did he come home? Can we take the Cheryl Ann?
Get easy now.
We sail tomorrow morning with Zach Morgan's blessing.
I was afraid Mr. Morgan wouldn't get back. I could hardly eat my breakfast.
Come on aboard. We'll see if we can find you something.
Well, I did have a couple of eggs.
Oh, and a little bacon, too, maybe?
Well, just a little.
Perhaps a bowl of cereal? A couple of waffles, or was it hotcakes?
But I didn't enjoy it.
I hate to have to feed you when you're not worried.
Hey, look. Who's that kid aboard there?
I suppose he owns that boat, do you?
He does. He's the original boy wonder of Wall Street.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Have you noticed someone waiting around here? A tall, sort of heavy-set man. My father's supposed to meet me.
No, we haven't.
I guess I'm a little early.
We were just looking at your yacht. She sure is big.
Yeah, she's pretty fair-sized. I brought her in from San Francisco. My father's flying down.
You brought her in. By yourself?
Sure, all by myself. With a captain and a crew of 8 to help me.
You, live on the yacht?
Sometimes. We're building a home in Portuguese Bend now. My mother's back east hunting for antiques to furnish it.
Danny, you think you and the Sea Explorers could handle a ship like that?
Sure like to give it a try.
Explorers?
Sea Explorers. We're a branch of the Boy Scouts. Only our work is mostly connected with water. You have to be 14 or over to join. I'm crew leader of our ship.
You mean you have your own ship?
Well, in our case, we're not so lucky. It just means like a Boy Scout troop.
Boy Scouts. It's pretty much kid stuff, isn't it?
You wouldn't think so if you ever came along on one of our cruises.
Oh, what do you use for boats?
We sort of borrow them when we need them. Mr. Morgan, who owns the tug Cheryl Ann, is letting Captain John and Carl take us on tomorrow's cruise. Captain John's our skipper, and Carl's our mate. That's like a scoutmaster in the Boy Scouts.
How do you do, sir? I'm Henry Baker, Jr., but everybody calls me Hank.
How are you, Hank?
I'm Danny Neal.
Hi. Well, where's this cruise to?
Elk Island. There's a landing there on a boathouse that belongs to a ship from San Diego. They're letting us use it.
You're borrowing a boat and you're borrowing someone else's boathouse. Your bunch doesn't sound like much of a ship to me.
It's a new ship. The boys are just getting started. They'll do all right.
You bet we will.
Oh, maybe I'll talk to my father. He's always giving money to boys' clubs and things. He just writes it off his income tax.
You mean if you asked your father, he'd give us our own ship and equipment?
Sure, if I asked him. I can get anything I want from him.
Your father happened to be Henry Baker, the New York financier?
Yep, that's him. And he's quite a guy, even if he is my father. He fought his way to the top. Nothing stops him. He's in there to win every time.
What about you? Do you, win every time?
You bet I do. Hey, here he comes now. Hi, Dad.
Hiya, boy. How was the trip?
Fine, Dad. Dad, this is Captain John.
John Harry. How do you do, Mr. Baker? This is
How do
my
you do?
son, Carl.
How do you do, Carl?
And this is Danny Neal. I've been kidding him about the Sea Explorers. I don't think he can take it.
Hello, Danny. What's this about Sea Explorers?
I was just explaining to Hank about our weekend cruise tomorrow. Say, Hank, why don't you come along with us? We have a lot of fun.
No, I don't think so. But thanks anyhow. Well, so long, Danny. Maybe some other time, huh?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Captain. Carl, so long.
Bye. Bye, gentlemen. Mr. Baker?
Bye.
If you change your mind, we sail tomorrow morning at 7.
Thanks.
Not a bad guy.
You were sort of in a hurry with that invitation, weren't you?
I was just leaning over backwards to be nice to him. After all, he's going to live near here.
After all, his father's Henry Baker, who gives money to boys' clubs and organizations.
If you lean back far enough, you might wind up with your own ship and equipment.
Gee, I didn't mean it that way. At least I don't think I did.
Captain John.
Hello there.
Looks like you got me after all.
Yeah, how are you, Mr. Baker?
Danny.
Well, Captain, something came up. It looks as if I'd have to fly east for a few days. I wondered if Hank could still take you up on that invitation.
We'll be glad to have him go. Won't we, Danny?
You bet we will. How about it, fellas?
Yeah.
Looks like it's unanimous. We're going to Elk Island. Camp out there till Sunday night and then head back.
Fine. And don't worry about Hank. He can handle himself. He'd better.
We'll take care of him.
I think it's great taking such an interest in these boys. As a matter of fact, I'd like nothing better than to do something like that myself, but, well, something always comes up. If you or the boys need anything, just holler.
Yes, sir.
Now, get in there and pitch. If he doesn't do a good job on this cruise, Captain, you just let me know about it.
You'll do all right, Mr. Baker.
All right? He's got to do better than all right.
I will, Dad.
That's the kind of talk I like to hear. Well, I'll see you when I get back. Goodbye, son.
Bye, Dad.
Go on. How's everything going?
Everything's underway according to schedule. The watch has been set. You've ever guessed who's been picked as officer of the day?
Hank, huh?
The demon of the seven seas himself. I've heard of laying it on, but they're smearing it on with a trowel.
Well, they're only kids. A boat like Baker's, you can't blame them for cottoning up to Hank a little.
A little. So far, he's won every training event we've had. Now this. I set up a navigation problem. Compute the probable arrival time at Elk Island from the time of departure. I gave him all the elements to consider, you know, the wind and the tide, you know, the works. Well, here are the results.
Hank again.
Been checking the answers. His calculations agree with mine, but that isn't the point. It's how he won.
What do you mean?
I got the feeling that the other guys didn't try very hard, as if they didn't want to take any of the glory away from our boy Wonder. Even Danny. As far as I'm concerned, this marks maybe the beginning of the end for this ship.
I think you're wrong. I've seen things like this before, not only with kids, but with grown-ups. I think I know the boys pretty well. Don't worry about them so much.
Is that all you're gonna do? Sit around and take sun baths?
Sure. Wake me up when you reach Elk Island.
It's all right if Hank takes a sun bath. He's our guest, isn't he?
That's my boy.
Maybe I better have a little talk with Danny.
All right, you guys, start lifting it now. Push, push, get in those holes over here. Come on, get it in the hole. Oh, you gotta work together. Come on, get in these holes. Keep it in the hole. Look out the flow. Keep it straight, will you?
Boy, how fouled up can you get?
Big shot, aren't you? Let's see you do any better.
Yeah.
Looks like the boys are really going to tell him off, huh?
Now look, fellas, Hank's our guest. If he doesn't know anything about tents, he doesn't
I
have
know
to...
all about that. Marty, you and Bill get those poles up. You two take those ropes. Okay, lift that up, right there. I found this post in the square post and slide down. That's right, lift it up, right there. Sure to get these in. Tie down that corner post. Get up on it in.
Looks like he knows what he's doing, all right.
It isn't up yet.
Okay, tauten up those guys. You two slack off those other lines. Don't work it too hard up there. That's right.
How come you know so much about tents?
Well, when my dad and I went hunting in the Canadian Rockies, he had the guide teach me. Well, if you've got any more problems, just ask me.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, tie down that corner post.
Hey, that Hank's pretty sharp. You see those tents go up?
Yeah.
We saw it. He took lessons while he was hunting with his father. Well, I guess I better have the boys start setting up the galley.
Maybe you should have Hank do the cooking. Probably took lessons from Oscar or the Waldorf.
What's the matter with Carl? Doesn't he like Hank?
Look, Danny, you're the elected crew leader, and you give the orders. All Carl and I want to do is give you a little advice, but we both think you're going way overboard.
What do you mean, Captain John?
Letting Danny win everything. We know you're anxious to have him join up, and we don't mind a little sales pitch. It's a kind of pitch we don't like.
Look, I admit I've been doing some buttering up to Hank, because if he's in with us, we got a chance to have a real ship and get some guys in that we can't get now. But if you think that I or any of the rest of the fellas have been letting him win, you're wrong.
You mean he won all those events on his own?
Yeah, he's just good, Captain John. He's practically lived on his father's yacht. There's nothing any of us can tell him about ships or sailing. And I know this too, Captain John. Up to now, I've been top man in this ship. Hank's better than I am. If he comes in, I won't be crew leader long.
You're still pitching to get him in, huh?
I'm no hero. All I want is for us to have the biggest and the best ship on the coast. And I think we can do it through Hank.
Let me tell you something, boy. This business about him being elected crew leader over you if he gets in, I wouldn't give it a second thought, no matter how good he is.
Come on, Danny.
Let's go.
Hurry,
Danny.
he's gonna beat you. Hurry,
Come on. Come on, Danny. Come on.
There's something I'd like to say, and this seems like a good time to say it. When I first met Danny the other day, and he told me about the Sea Explorers, I told him I thought it pretty much kid stuff. But the way things turned out, I'm sure glad I came along. And if you fellas want me, I'd like to join the ship.
Well, hey, how about that? What do you say, fellas?
Yeah.
Well, Hank, it looks like you're in, unofficially. The ship's membership will have to pass on your application, but I don't think there'll be any trouble about that. So welcome aboard.
Thanks, Danny. And I can tell you fellas, we're gonna have the best ship in the Sea Explorers. Nothing but the biggest and the best for us. And I'm gonna see that my old man gets it for us. You just let us bakers run things. We'll show you how to do it.
Teams, I'll give you the rules. Each team takes a rowboat out and follows me. I'll assign you your stations. Captain John will be on the pier. When I give the signal, one man from each team dives in and swims to the pier, swims back again. When he touches his partner's hand, the partner does the same thing, then both boys race the boat back to the pier. Is that clear?
Marty's got a blister on his hand. He can stay with me. All right, man your boats. May the best team win.
There they go. Come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. Come on. Danny's taking him. Danny's taking him.
Touch me!
He didn't give Bill a chance to get in. He's doing it all himself.
I saw it.
Grab an oar, let's go! Down it all yourself, you may as well finish it.
I knew he had to overplay his hand.
What'd you say?
Just talking to myself.
You ever see such a knucklehead? He's even proud of himself.
I want you all to meet my partner, Superman.
That was a pretty silly thing to do, Hank. don't think he got quite the reception he expected.
Boy, he sure is a character.
I think I better have a talk with him.
Hank!
I don't get it. What was the idea?
The idea was to win, and I won. That's simple enough, isn't it?
Well, it may be simple to you, but it wasn't to me. You had a partner. That was a team event.
If I let Bill do the last lap, we'd have lost. What difference did it make if I swam both laps? Now, just because I won, you and the other guys are all burned up.
Look, Hank, you got us all wrong. We're not burned up at you. It's just that we think you got the wrong idea.
Well, I'm starting to think so, too.
If that means what I think it does, you can back out anytime you want to.
What's the matter? Afraid I might take the crew leader job away from you?
I'm not afraid of anything you can do to me. You don't worry me.
Oh, no!
Hey, break it up! Marty, Bill, break it up in there!
There you go.
All right, hit the showers. Maybe that'll cool you two off.
Wait a minute, Danny. If you please, sir, we'd like to talk to Danny for a few minutes. I think it's time we held a ship's meeting.
Is this a matter for the ship's officers, or can everybody get in on it?
I think it's something you and Captain John should be in on, sir.
All right. We'll go aboard the Cheryl Ann.
We'll have the meeting there, huh?
I don't have to be hit over the head to know I'm in the doghouse. I don't think I did wrong, but if you guys think so, I'll say I'm sorry. Is that square things?
Danny doesn't want to say it because you might think it's personal on account of the fight. So I'll say it.
I'll take it, Marty. The boys held a ship's meeting, Hank, and took a vote. I took no part in it, even though I'm the crew leader. We were going to tell you when we got back, but I guess we'll have to do it now. They decided that it'd be a bad mistake all around for you to come into the ship. You just don't seem to latch onto the idea. Well, we're all sorry, Hank, but they just seem to think you don't fit in.
Look, if that's the way you guys feel, it's okay with me. It's really not that important. I'll try to keep out of your hair till we get back.
Nobody's worried about you getting in anybody's hair, Hank. You're still our guest, and we can still have a good time till we get back. Nobody's got any hard feelings against you. It's just that we can't seem to get together on our ideas.
Since I'm back to being a guest, I'll leave you guys at the cleanup detail and take myself a sunbath.
Mind if I join you?
Help yourself.
I don't think you're taking this as easily as you're putting on. If you feel like telling me, it won't go any further.
I don't get it, Captain John. I'm not talking about the fight. This was a contest. Just because I won, everyone gets sore at me.
You're not sore at you because you won, it's how you won.
When you go in to win, you win the best way. That's all I did.
You're wrong. When you're a member of a team, you cooperate with the others, and win or lose, you take it gracefully.
My father would give you a big argument on that. He'd tell you when you win, you're on top, and you can tell everyone to go jump in the lake. When you lose, you just lose, and no one's got any respect for you.
You just won every event in the book. You beat the leader of the group. The only thing you didn't win was the respect of the other fellas. And that's the one thing Danny didn't lose. Take it like a man, win or lose, you come out on top. A fellow becomes a sea explorer, he gives his word that he'll respect the rights of every man as an individual. You can't work and get along with others, you can win yourself a lot of medals. That's all you'll wind up with is a lot of medals. That's your father's boat?
No, I wonder what happened.
We'll soon find out. It looks like he's coming into the dock.
Hey, that looks like Hank's old man's boat.
What is his boat? He's coming in.
How are you, Mr. Baker?
My appointment was called off. I thought I'd run over and see how the boys were getting along.
Oh?
How's it going, son?
Fine.
You know, this is quite a place. Greatest thing in the world for building a boy's character. How's Hank been doing, Captain?
Quite a sailor. He won every competition event he entered.
I told you he could take care of himself. Say, how would the boys like to spend the rest of the afternoon on my yacht? Let them relax a little.
Well, I guess that's up to Danny. He's the crew leader.
Well, how about it, Danny?
I think your boys would like that, Mr. Baker. Thank you very much.
Well, we still got a couple hours before we sail. Let's go.
Right. You see, it's completely automatic. All you do is press that button, and up comes the anchor.
I haven't even seen that in the movies.
Now, there's a lot of things on the Georgia you won't see in the movies. I had my own designers build to the specification. Well, you boys enjoy yourself. I'm going back to see how your skipper's getting along.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Baker.
Why don't you go forward?
I don't even feel right being on the yacht since we voted Hank out.
Oh, come on.
Got a beautiful ship here. Boys are having quite a time.
Yeah, that's fine, Captain, but I want to ask you a question, and I'd like a frank answer.
Sure.
I just passed a couple of your boys up forward, and I thought I overheard them say that they voted against admitting my son to the Explorers.
Well, you know how boys are. Some of them have different outlooks. I don't think that...
Do you mean they actually blackballed my son?
No, not blackballed. They thought that...
Well, he won. You said he won.
That's right, everything he entered.
But I don't understand, Captain Herrick. You're the skipper of these boys. Are you going to let a few jealous kids swing the boat?
Jealousy has nothing to do with it. Mr. Baker, you see, some boys, well, it takes them a little longer to get used to a setup like this. It's all new. I think Hank and the boys in a couple of weeks...
A couple of weeks? Captain, I want you to tell...
Mr. Baker, I'd like to tell you something, if you don't mind. Your son, Hank, puts too much emphasis on winning all the time. I think if you give Hank and the boys a chance to know each other better, they'll work it out. It'll be all right.
I just don't understand this.
You wonder the hell you just followed. All you have to do to free it. Now, wait a minute. That's one of the events we had last month. Who wants to volunteer to go aloft to clear it?
Me, I will.
Now, just a minute here. Hank, come here. We don't set our guests to work, do we, Hank? Now, run up that rat line and take care of it.
Dad, you know how I am on heights.
You've got to get over this fear sometime, son, and now's the time to do it.
But, Dad...
Get with it, Hank.
Hey, something's the matter with Hank.
Hang on, Hank. I'm coming up.
Careful, Danny. Hurry.
Hold it, Hank. Just a couple of more seconds. Are you okay?
I think I'm all right now. Thanks, Dad.
On my honor, I will do my best.
On my honor, I will do my best.
To do my duty to God and my country.
To do my duty to God and my country.
And to obey the Scout law.
And to obey the Scout law.
To help other people at all times.
To help other people at all times.
Keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Welcome aboard, shipmate.
At ease.
Gee, it's gonna be swell having you with us.
Phil.
How would you boys like to use the Georgia as your ship?
Well, Gee, that'll be wonderful, Mr. Baker.
Well, we hope you enjoyed tonight's story, and that you'll be with us next week for another episode of Waterfront.